Ben Gaming checking in.
Let's see. Moved everything around. I don't have. Oh, my windows!
How many screens?
4 screens and about 8 windows open. Hello, all of you lovely viewers. We're on SMITE game now, too. If you actually want to drag us to the channel in the TS, that'd be fantastic.
Oops. That's a mute thing. Oh.
Get them added to the actual thing. Yeah. Oh, of course you can't. There. Woo! Hello, Latin. Hello, all of you lovely, lovely people. Welcome to the pre-show. I am your host / EU admin Demon Machine. I'm joined here by my sub-admin, Shitoffy, or Toffee, or XI Toffee, or however the hell you want to pronounce it. Most people just call him Toffee.
That shit's off. He started by Seal. He started calling me that.
So, thus far we have, what? 12 teams? I gotta add these guys to the pre-show screen, which is Finn. Finn Gaming just checked in. Finn Gaming. Yay. So we're a little light on teams thus far. Doesn't mean that, 16 more aren't going to check in come time of the close check-in. They do have about 20 minutes to show up. Especially if you're a new team. If you're a new team, you have about, well, you got 26 minutes to be exact. So if you guys are new teams out there and you're wanting to get in on this lovely esports action, you better get into the TeamSpeak that we have. You can find all the information and stuff on the rules and all that good stuff. But don't just join it because you can join it if you are not a part of a team, because if you're not a part of a team and you do join the TeamSpeak, I will kick you. We gotta keep it organized and
You like having all the power.
civilized. That's the word I was looking for. Ah, there we go. Excellent. Ambrosia here. Let's get that worked out. Where was it? We had to get Farikrick Ambrosia on a team. We had to join the clan. Where in the devil did he go? So many windows. So yeah, Toffee, feel free to answer any questions. We're going to have a little conversation with Shadow Nightmare from Team Torch in a little bit. We'll hit him up on the other TeamSpeak. So many windows. Oh. We must check this. This is on blissful. Who is Torch? Torch is actually an offshoot of TSM. They are a part of the same organization. It's just like their I don't want to call them B team, but like just basically second team. Yeah, TSM's not here yet. They haven't checked in, so don't freak out yet. Because Youngbei typically shows up about 5 minutes before check-in ends. Excuse me. Who do I think is going to win? Thus far from the performance last week, TSM looks like they're a very, very, very strong team. So Cloud9 has been practicing. I'm sure TSM has been practicing. Then it's just going to be another back-and-forth battle to see who can take it. Although I hear that Torch has been doing a lot of practicing, and they've been actually taking out TSM in some scrims. So they are a force to be reckoned with, of course, because they do have Spoo and Hyrock from the previous team of Bipolar Method. So that is everybody except for Lobster is not Lobster, excuse me, Badger from Bipolar Method is now back into the tournament series. So I give it another week before Lobster shows up.
Sit beside me, my only son, and listen closely to what I say. And if you do this, it'll help you some sunny
Yeah. Team Subs here. Yay!
Oh, take your time. Don't live too fast.
What's my EU dream team? Ooh.
And they will pass.
What is my EU dream team? That's a tough one, because there's so many people that are so good.
And don't forget that there is a someone
Good lord.
up above. And be a simple kind of man.
I don't know, I might go with like
Something you love and all.
granted Hyrock. I don't think he's jungling this time. He's not being support like he used to do. Actually, that was Badger. They used to do support.
Oh, won't you do this for me, son, if you can?
I have no idea.
Get your love from the rich man's gold.
5 Exalias.
Now,
Suntuck Azalea, Lobster, Frosty, Exotic. Game Hunter. That's not a bad one. I would agree with that. That's a very, very darn good one. Yeah, Shing's on North America. 2.5 Game Hunters and 2.5 Exalias. So the question is, which of the .5s will be in the jungle? Will it be the .5 Game Hunter, then second the .5 of Exalia? Hey, Dr. GHD, how are you? Who's the best tank in all of the game? Like, the best tank player? Or the best tank god? That's a good one. I would probably have to go with Trix tank as the best tank in all the game. That kid is wicked. Zindarin is on Cognitive Forge. Yes, Dr. JHD, I will be streaming after the tournament today for some good old-fashioned fun / learning time with all the new viewers or new smiters or whatnot. Actually, me and one of my cohorts are going to start building a mentoring program. We've talked about it a long time ago, and a long time ago being like 6 months to almost a year ago, about getting a mentoring program where we help out new players. And so now we finally have the time to kind of sit down and make like a curriculum and stuff. So we'll be introducing that more as it gets more polished and ready to be used. So basically free learning for people that want to try and get better at the game in various ways. Whether it be playing with us or us playing against you, or you guys in a team and we play with another team and just try and, help improve in general. Who do I think the best Guardian is right now? I would probably... It's not so much that there is a best Guardian or a worst Guardian. It's the question of the team comp. I mean, if you have... if you go for, say, like a rotation comp, for example, with an Apollo, you would like to pick up, say, an Athena, because Apollo can, jump on his chariot, ride across the map or wherever he wants to very quickly, and so you would like your support tank to be able to get there immediately as well. So Athena would be very good for that, and that was a very popular meta back in, 4 months ago, where Athena or mostly Athena was banned a lot. And so she was banned because if you got that Athena Apollo comp, then you would control the map, because they couldn't leave a lane because suddenly you guys would be there. And so, I mean, it just depends on what you're running. For instance, a Sobek and Anhur combination is a very strong. So, I mean, if you would like to get a lot of stuns down in your duo lane, the best one you probably want to take is a Sobek, because he can pull them into your creep wave, as well as getting him out of position, getting him pinned up against a wall or a pillar, and then take A, creep damage, B, auto attack damage from you and your support, or your your ADC and your support, and it's a bad situation all around. Versus, say, a Sobek and Neith, because when Sobek plucks and Neith roots them, they can still possibly jump out. So if, say, you wanted to go up against if they picked an Artemis, you could get a Neith and a Sobek and be alright, because Artemis has no dash, slide, or jump. So she couldn't really move once you rooted her down. But if they picked an on her or a Neith, I guess you'd pretty much, if they picked up on her or Apollo, you don't really want to take Neith to try and keep them under control, because she's going to root them and they will slide around or jump. And it just makes life irritating. There's Young Bay. TSM is here! Let me get them in. Yay! Yes, Sobek Cupid is very, very scary. The biggest reason I like to, I'll even turn on my webcam for this explanation. The biggest reason I think Sobek Cupid is so scary is because people don't know how to react when they get hit with a Sobek, with a Cupid Heart Bomb. A lot of people, they get hit with it and they just start panicking. They're like, holy crap, I just need to get away from everybody because I'm going to get stunned and I need to get into a safer position. So when I do get stunned, you know, I make sure I'm in a safe spot before I'm standing still now. So they don't think about return fire. They don't think about trying to do anything in return, whether that be a stun or a root or a volley or whatever. They're just like, run away. And so that's pretty much what they do. And yeah, Cupid can be a very strong pick, especially when Sobek plucks the Fields of Love land and you get a heart bomb on you. Yeah, most people just sit down and cry. It's gonna hurt so much. So pretty much that. Let's see. Let me get them added to the actual brackets. Yes, here. Solo bit. Okay. Bang. Asterisk. Yeah, that is also true too. The Epic Fetus is that, you know, when Cupid's Cripple lands, you can't jump out of Sobek's ult. But I didn't even think you need Sobek's ult at that point. People are just freaking out. Do you have any mods for the tournament today? If you would like to mod for the tournament today, Scooby Doodles, please do. Other than that, it's just me and Toffee. Usually Stoner shows up at some point. Toffee is the one on the SMITE Admin EU channel. Why, hello, Miss Chaos. Sobek Arachne was a big thing. People loved it because Arachne could sit back near the tower. Sobek would pluck them like from the mid of the lane where they were engaging, and then Arachne would just pull you into the tower, and people would cry.
That does sound deadly.
It was... I said I wanted to get the Leapfrog team. So, I mean, now we have Tier C. So you want to get a Leapfrog team, you get Tier, you get Hercules, you get Sobek, you get Arachne, and who else could pull or push? Crap. Can't think of anybody else off the top of my head. I know somebody else can. Who am I missing? Is there somebody else that can pull and push that I'm forgetting about? Oh, I guess Hercules pushes and pulls. So, just imagine those four, and then you throw in an ADC with that. So, you have Tyr jump out of the jungle, push them back, Sobek grabs them, throws them back farther, Hercules driving strikes them back even further, and then Arachne pulls them the rest of the way, and soon they're in your pool. It's just, I like to call it the Leapfrog team. So we have about 9 minutes before check-in is closed. So I wonder if we'll make it under 16 teams today and not have to run that nasty 32-team bracket.
Team sub might not be able to make it, he's saying.
That's Terra Brew. Hello, Drawbear. Things going so well, so smoothly. Nobody skipped in the check-in process, have they, that you saw? No, I don't see anybody down there that didn't check in. Because a little earlier, we were having people that they join into, like, where I am to check in, and they just skip right down to the checked-in teams. And I'm like, do you guys want to, like, come and tell me you're here, or just kind of be ignored? So, yeah. When you check in, make sure you talk to me. Don't just pop down into the checked-in teams and assume that I'm going to put you in. You could just be there hanging out because you have nothing else to do. Who knows? Also, I'm so sad. I have a hole in my slipper. Got my new house slippers for, like, Christmas. I already got a hole in one of them because I wear them too much. Sad panda. Venomsky. Let's see, that was for Jungle Tank. Jungle Tank. Right. That was a problem. I think I added that asterisk somewhere. On one of these bloody screens, I have...
You amaze me checking in.
Yay! How in the world do I couldn't enter? Whatever. We'll do that. Okay. All right. Alright, you amaze me. Let's see, get them in. They're already... Yes, they are. Good. Make sure that they didn't have any roster changes, or just poke him. But they have 5, and I'm assuming that they're all there, so... They say they're checking in, and they didn't tell me about any changes, so I can only assume that there is no changes.
Oh, wow.
Right. Let's look at all brackets. Amaze me. So they are in the 16th through 32nd bracket. You amaze me. 12. The 9 through... Sorry, the 9 through. They did make it to the second round. Oh yes, I know what assume means, and that's the problem that they will have. Because if they change something and they didn't tell me, then it's their fault. Because I am here and I'm available for them to come and tell me we have gotten a new roster, we've gotten this or that, or blah blah blah. It's not my job to be your mother. You can't take the time to tell me that you changed your roster and the tournament starts and you guys play a game and I find out that you have a different roster. I'm going to kick you. Oh my god! Come on, guys. Let's double check. You are you amaze me. Let's add. That's fine. You amaze me. You amaze me. Where is it? There it is. All right, let's switch over to the other TeamSpeak audio. I mean, if you can come if you want to. I'm going to drag Mr. Shadow Nightmare down and chit-chat with him for a few minutes. Okay. Talking to you, Toffee.
Yes, you can go ahead.
Okay, well, I'm just letting you know, so it's not like you're sitting there talking at me and you're, why is he not responding? So I'll be back.
Yeah.
Where is it? Wait until he pops his head up. So now we're going to talk with Shadow Nightmare from Torch. Boop. Why you don't make... I dislike you, text. Why you don't do this? Add text. Bam. There's the P's here somewhere. There it is. Oh, goodness, that's huge. Why do you have to have such a long name? Hey, we'll put it there. All right. That is not what I wanted to do. Let's take this. Come on, Shadow. You know you can do this. I know you can do this. You can work TeamSpeak with 2 TeamSpeaks. There's a little checkbox at the top left. It's a little check mark with a microphone. You have it set to a different TeamSpeak. So you have to click on this TeamSpeak window. There you go!
I got it.
Yay!
Yeah, it's so...
How are you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
So, how have you guys been doing? Have you been practicing a lot? And, like, tell us about yourself and the team while you have the audience at your mercy.
Well, we've been practicing a lot, hell of a lot, actually. Since we have 2 new players, it's going to take a lot of time. So we've been putting a lot of effort into scrimming top-tier teams, getting much strategies down, and just a lot of theory crafting. So hopefully we perform good today. Hopefully the practice pays off. Some people have been asking about the name Torch.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically like like a brother to Cloud9 and TSM. It's owned by the same people that own both of those sponsors.
Oh.
So it's Jack Etienne and Reginald, Andy Dine, that own Torch basically, the founder and co-founder. So it's like a brother to both of those teams.
Nice. So it's just like, like a brother. It's just a second team, basically.
Yep.
They decided one team was not good enough. We want two.
They want every team.
Yes. We won't be satisfied until we sponsor all the teams. So, what... I mean, you guys have been practicing a lot. Do you guys think you can take out TSM?
Well, we did a scrim yesterday, and it was going quite well, but we made a huge mistake late game and sort of threw the game away, but now we know that mistake, so I'm pretty sure we can take out TSM today. We'll have to wait and see.
The gauntlet has been thrown down. The gauntlet has been thrown down. That's very nice. Now, TSM aside, what about Cloud9? Because I know that their playstyles are a little different.
Cloud9, it's always a close match between us and Cloud9. I mean, last week we did like a, or was it the week before? We did like a 60-minute game against them, I think.
Wow.
It was like some crazy long game in the semifinals. It's always a close match. It can go either way, honestly.
That's cool. Sounds like fun.
It's really not. 60 minutes.
It's just stressful and time-consuming, and it makes me cry. I love long games. It's the kind of games where you get the red pot and then the elixirs of power and stuff because you have so much money.
When the Alcon halted it for 1.6k,
yeah,
tasty.
But
it's just so long and effort.
I have a question for you. What do you think about the late game in SMITE? Do you think that something needs to be done about it to kind of tone down the damage? Because I mean, it seems though when you hit like this, I'd say about 30-minute to 40-minute time period in a game, if nobody is a clear lead, like nobody has a significant lead to where they're just able to really team fight their way to victory, then everybody starts playing really passive because the whole team can get wiped at any second, and they don't want to be that team that's wiped. So everybody tries these little small skirmishes where it's like, oh, we lost one person, run away, quick, quick, you know, keep the rest of us alive. And do you think that it's something that maybe they need to turn up the tankiness or turn down the damage, you know, anything kind of general that you think they could do to help improve this late game to where it's not just a, you know, somebody happens to be standing in the wrong spot and gets hit with an ultimate, and that's it, the team fight's done.
Yeah, I mean, with some gods, it's just way too easy to take somebody out late game. I mean, Hebo, for example, is perfect god to do that with. You just blink into the backline and just Hebo ulti everybody to dead, and it's just too much damage to handle. I mean, I think it may be okay because there is early game gods and late game gods that you have to think for before you pick your team anyway. Yep. So when you're picking your gods, you have to consider, are you going to go for the early game domination, or you're going to play passive and wait till late game? And that's where the god choices come in. Like Loki, Hebo, really, really strong late game gods. Take anybody out instantly. Yeah. So it's okay. I think the damage is maybe a little bit too high on gods like Ao Kwang when his ulti hits for like 1.6k, which is like 80% of a HP bar of a carry. Yeah. It's pretty disgusting. But, I mean...
But then also being the carry out of the team, you should be mindful and purchase an Aegis at some point to where when they blink into the backline, you just say, ha! Don't touch me.
I mean, there is counters to it, but it just depends if you can get it off in time, honestly. Yeah. So if you have a fast reaction time, then sure, you're set. But if you have like a slow reaction time, you don't manage to Aegis in time, you're going to die.
Yep. If you don't die from the wave, you're going to die from the splashing hands that happens when he gets to the other side.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep. Ooh, right, we have to take out jungle tanks because they're not participating anymore. We lost a team already and the game hasn't even started yet. Oh well. So, is there any other teams that you have noticed have been practicing a lot or, you know, been, say, like Five Eyes or Forge or Give Me Your Sandwich, Donors by Heart, you know, anybody you play that you're like, wow, these guys have really improved?
Team Q. I have to say, quite strong. It's 3 members from Mortality, Proxy QQ, and Reels X. quite a strong team. They've been practicing a lot. They have the synergies coming along quite nice. Generally a strong team to look out for, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I would like to inform everybody that the check-in's now closed. So, we have how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 teams. Yes. I mean, yes, for the fact that I don't have to break out the 32-team bracket. That's all. That's pretty much it. Kind of sad for the fact that we went from, what, 24 teams last week? It seems like we kind of have this roller coaster ride of teams. It's like people, they want to give in, give it a shot, they get in a shot, they give it a shot, they lose, and then they're like, oh, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. This is really rough. But there's always the staples of the community with Solomid, Cloud9, Torch, Five Eyes, Team Q, Cognitive. All those guys have stayed together for quite a while. Or in some form or fashion, stayed together. Oh, speaking of which, I need to poke Proxy and tell him I need a flippin' logo. So, that taken care of. So, is there anything else you would like to ask or talk to the viewers about?
Maybe they can ask me something, I
Yeah.
guess. If
What
anybody has any
position do you
questions.
play on your team?
I play mid lane.
You play mid lane. Okay, so I guess give us some advice about mid lane. Like, for instance, who's your favorite mid lane god? What do you, or you don't have to give away any specific strategies that you run, but like, say, for general knowledge, when you're playing the game, you like this guy the best because he's really good at this, and I try to watch out for this god. You know, who's your most threatening god? Like, what do you do against Zeus? Because I know a lot of people are scared of Zeus.
Against the Zeus, you just basically have to pick Hebo. I mean, early game you're gonna beat a Zeus in lane just because if you hug the creeps, the chain lightning isn't gonna hit you if you stand in the right place. So you just knock him up, one him, and then ulti him, and he's gonna die every time.
What do you mean by hug the creeps?
Like hug, like staying
hug,
near them.
hug. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
You said hug, not hook. Sorry.
So if you stay like in a certain point, if the creeps, it's gonna just bounce to all the other creeps, not you.
Okay.
So he won't be able to poke you for free, and you can wipe the wave much quicker than he can, and generally put out more damage and bully him out the lane. The only thing you have to look out for is ganks. I mean, mid lane is like heaven for a jungler.
It's a gank fest in mid, that's for sure.
Yep.
It is definitely a gank fest. Let's see.
Poseidon Poseidon's quite strong, of course, but I think his abilities are just too reliant on hitting them. I mean, in comparison to like Agni, it's much easier to hit the abilities than Poseidon. I mean, you drop a whirlpool, you do a lot of damage, but they can just beads and just walk out of all your other damage.
Yeah.
So it's not reliable almost.
People that are asking me who I'm talking to, it says it above my head, on air with Shadow Nightmare from Team Torch. Come on now.
My favorite looking god?
Ooh.
I gotta say Habois, the Hebrew skin. I mean,
Favorite looking? I'm gonna have to go with Aphrodite. Ooh, sorry.
I just love Habois' Sith, but it's just so swaggy. It's amazing. His voice pack as well to go with that is lovely.
Some people want to know, I'm sure you probably can't really go into it, but what do you get out of being sponsored by like Torch or any team?
In general, a sponsor?
Yeah.
Or
I guess I would go in general, yeah.
When you're sponsored, it just basically gives you like the ability to do more stuff. Like they pay for travel costs if you can't afford. They pay for your accommodation. If you need a new computer for streaming or wherever, they can maybe give you some components or an entire computer. You need a new keyboard, mouse, they can hook you up with that. It just allows you to continue gaming, and they just basically give you everything you need. In return, you play the tourneys and win, get them a good reputation, make them some money.
Yep.
generally how it
I
goes.
assume you probably have to pay out a little bit of your winnings to the sponsor.
It depends. It depends on the contract. Like I've
Yeah.
seen some contracts that they don't pay for travel costs, but you keep 100% of the tournament winning and 100% of stream revenue. So it just depends what sort of organization you're going for.
Yeah.
Some take 20% cut, some don't take much.
It's kind of, I mean, if you got to look at it like a business, I mean, these guys who are sponsoring teams, they have to make money at some point. So if they are paying for you to travel to a tournament and they're paying for your, say, equipment and sponsors are sending you stuff, they want something back too. So either
Yep.
they're going to get a whole lot of advertisement by you being awesome, but they also have to make sure that they make some money. So they're probably going to put in there somewhere like, we need some percentage of your tournament winnings so that way, you know, because we sent you to this place. I mean, we basically covered 100% of your travel costs, and that was like $3,000, and you won $50 and we won $20. Come on, give us $20.
I mean, I think what they try to do is most organizations take like a 20% cut, let's say, and they only fly you out if the tournament winning is
there's
high,
a certain amount.
to make sure they actually gain a profit, I think.
Yeah, or at least make back what they spent.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's in the end, it would be a profit for them if they only spent a little bit. Like, say, you know, it cost them $5,000 to send you out, and the tournament winning, you guys ended up winning $4,000. It's like, I guess $1,000 we could eat because it was a really big event, and, you know, you guys had a lot of exposure. So it's just, it depends on how much is it worth to them to send you there. So, like, for this $100,000 tournament, most sponsors are like, you're going because you're leaving with at least X amount of money, and it's going to cover the travel
Everybody
cost.
wants in the 100K. Everybody wants into that. But yeah, that's basically how it works, I guess.
Awesome. So we have a late arrival that I'll let slide because they've played previously. So it doesn't involve all the forums and all the things that I have to do for a new esport team. There we are.
Competitive SMITE, how far will it grow? I think it's going to grow pretty big, to be honest. I mean, look at the sponsors now. You got Cloud9, TSM, like Torch, basically. There's a lot of big people looking into SMITE, and that's going to spread the word, and it's just going to grow really, really big, I think. I mean, especially with the partnership with Tencent as well. It's going to go big quick.
I mean, look at it in this aspect. League of Legends was, what, 2 years old? Before it really hit it big. It was well out of beta. They threw their first $100,000 tournament in June of 2011. And they threw that $100,000 tournament. People were losing their minds because it was $100,000. And the highest prize pool up to that point had been like, I think, a $25,000 for StarCraft 2. And so they really took esports and just launched it up this massive thing where you started getting huge sponsors like Coca-Cola and Doritos and 5 Hour Energy. And I mean, when you start getting lifestyle sponsors for a game and a tournament and a sport, I mean, if you go to any football, regular football, American football, baseball, whatever sport you want to pick, hockey, there's always plastered all over the walls. There's all these, you know, sports drinks. There's Gatorade. There's, you know, Powerade and all these different lifestyle things that people want you to go out and buy just because you're human. And so when you start getting those kind of things on, those kind of sponsors on board, you know you're starting to hit it big. So once we get Team Coca-Cola and SMITE and or in League and stuff like that, you know that esports has really made it.
Yep. What do I think about Freya mid? It's it's really good. I'll just say that. I mean, against gods with wave clear, if you get hog in mid, it's really easy to control the lane. You'll get outpushed every second wave, but if you got hog, it should be fine. But in general, Freya is a really strong mid laner.
Awesome. Shadow, what is your perfect Sunday?
Winning the tournament, I guess.
I would go with that one as well. I would also go with that one because, I mean, your perfect Sunday would be winning the tournament, finding out that you just won the lottery, and then also finding out that you're immortal. Maybe that wouldn't be. I don't know. Would you find immortality as a blessing or a curse?
Depends how long it goes on for. If I like, it'll be good for a little bit, and then it would just get
After
annoying
everybody you
and
know
be a
is
curse.
dead and gone, it'll be a curse.
Yep.
Yeah. The problem I can only see with immortality, I mean, of course, it depends on how the immortality works. I mean, if you grow older and older and like more feeble as you grow older, that could just suck because it's like by the time you hit 300, you're a rolling pile of ash. But assuming you stayed the same age, like you're a vampire or something, I could deal with that. I could deal with that. Because one of my personal dreams is to get on a spaceship and leave all of you souls behind. I want to go find another planet and do what I want and leave all you guys. Just, nope, go away. I don't want to hear you. I want to go be alone. Thank you. Oh, it's so nice.
Do I think Harrock Spoon Fumble made my team stronger, or is there work to be done? I mean, when we had Pakuza and the third best, I mean, we were a pretty strong team. That's because we played together a lot before, so the synergy was there. I played with Fumble as well before, so when he joined the team, it was really good synergy already. But now that we've got Harrock and Spoo, they're really good players. Mechanically, and the theory is really strong.
Mhm.
It's just the synergy isn't quite there yet. So we're gonna have to practice a lot to get the synergy, and we should be really strong. So in general, they probably made the team stronger. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's one of those, you kind of took a slight hit in the synergy / performance right now because, I mean, you guys are fresh, like a new group, so to speak. But once you get that worked out, you get Spoo and Hyrock kind of off their rusty bikes and onto something fast and new, then it'll be, hopefully the car that is your team will go faster in the end.
Yep. You've been running Sun Wukong mid. I can't see the chat. It keeps scrolling up too quick. Wait. I'll answer your question in a sec. Hold on.
Just gotta find your question.
I've been running Sun Wukong mid, and I think I'm only winning it's because it's shocking. Is there any real downsides to this? Honestly, I don't know. I've never really tried Wukong mid. I mean, if it works solo, I can imagine it probably works quite good in mid. I mean, he has an escape too, so you can't really be ganked as easily. He's got 2 escapes actually.
Yep.
He has really good poke, probably good wave clear. I don't think he really has a downside other than he could probably get harassed by he's probably gonna get harassed by a mage, like Agni or Hebo, just because he's melee. So if he goes really close to them, he's gonna be in a little bit of a problem.
Yeah.
But he can hold the lane, probably really good.
It's a matter of you're probably going to eat up a lot of mana, really, because you're going to need your spells to clear the waves fast enough to keep up with the mage. It sounds like it would be an early game tough time, but if you can bring it into mid or late game, he'll be doing fine. Basically past 5 minutes when he can get something decent. I would almost say that might possibly be not ungankable, but it would be a really tough thing to gank Wukong mid because
With that eagle stance, just fly away.
The bird away or the somersault cloud. But I mean the cudgel to the wave is a very great way of taking it out. And then the spinny, I don't even know what it's called when he spins.
Yeah. The little knock-up thing.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, basically the only difference between solo and mid is you have a lot more ganks in mid, and you have to fight for the mid camps.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's one-on-one. Morning, Josh. That's something I've kind of toyed with, is why not send the solo laner into mid, and the mid into solo,
I was thinking
or
the same
rotate
thing,
them even,
honestly.
because say if you have your mid laner versus a mid laner and your solo laner versus solo laner, say you got a Wukong versus a Hercules just off the bat, and then your Hebo versus Zeus in mid. So your Zeus is going to be building magical protection in mid. Your Hercules is going to be building physical protection in solo because he's up against Wukong. Well,
Yep.
Come 4 minutes, we're going to swap lanes for a few minutes. So Hebo goes into the solo lane, and Sun Wukong comes to the middle lane, and they just beat the crap out of the opponent because they have not built any protections against the opposite. They have
Yep.
he has no magical protection, and suddenly he's going up against a Hebo who's going to like try and eat his face. And so he either A, goes back and gets some magical protection, and then you guys just swap again, or B, he takes it and you just keep blasting him away and putting him back under his tower.
Yeah, it could work, but I think that the reason the mage has to stay in mid is just because of the mid camps. Like, mages have so much teamfight presence and potential in comparison to a solo laner. I mean, some solo laners do. For like Hercules is really good option, but generally speaking, mages have really good team fights. So I think that's why they're at the mid camps, because that's where most of the fights happen early to mid game. So you just want to have as much damage as you can there.
True.
I mean, it depends on the solo laner though. If you're playing like Kia solo, that could work really well in mid for the mid camps. Same with Hercules. But if you're playing something like Wukong that doesn't really have that much team fight potential at the mid camps, for example, where they're all grouped up, then you're gonna probably lose the fight.
He's not
just
quite
because
as
they have
threatening.
AoE. Yeah.
Because he can't just damage all of you at the same time. He can hit you around, but other than that, he's just going to try and bully you. Interesting. I'll have to try that. One of my other passions is trying to break the meta. Doing whatever obnoxious crap we can try to make sure that it doesn't work the way it should. Have you guys ever tried double jungle, where you go... It's a hybrid 2-1-2 / the bruisers that we put in the outside lanes are also like hybrid junglers, to where they go in, they clear the jungle, and then they come back to lane if necessary, or they just counter jungle or gank or whatever. They're basically two roamers. How do you think that might work?
I mean, when you look at it straight away, it seems really, really strong, because you're going to win the lane because there's two of you there all the time. But then when you do win the lane, you just roam about and take the jungle and gank everywhere. But I think the problem is that I think the enemy jungler will just counter jungle, knowing that you're in lane. The enemy laner could just keep you in lane. Like, even if they're losing, they could just dive in, for example, and force them to stay for a little bit longer, which will give the enemy jungler time to just take all your buffs completely. And I think at that point you're going to fall a little bit behind, because the solo lane is on his own, obviously, so he's going to be getting more XP, and the jungler is just going to go really far ahead because of the counter jungle.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Wootenraz, where it's almost kind of that way now, because the support, after about 3 or 4 minutes, starts roaming. Especially once they hit 5, he starts roaming his side, especially to help support and stuff like that. It's just he's not so much he's just a roaming support versus, say, taking a bruiser and having him straight up roam to gank, and try and be a serious threat versus support.
Yep. How do we practice? I mean, we scrim other teams, obviously, like other top tier teams, just to get the mechanics and synergy working. And then in addition to that, we sit down for a little while and just do some theory crafting, like general picks and bans, like strategies, like secret strats that nobody's going to know of, like just surprise stuff. So it's just a combination of like practically doing things and then like the theory side of stuff. That's how we mainly practice.
Nice. Why did this screw up now? Farvig Nugans. All right, well, I'm going to let you go because I need to make the brackets so we can get this tournament underway ASAP.
Okay.
And so thank you for joining me,
having
Mr. Shadow Nightmare. Do you have anything you would like to say finally before we cut it out?
Just good luck to all the teams participating today. Hopefully, some new players take an interest in the tournaments. Just join up, have a bit of fun, get involved. That's about it, really.
I agree. Well, thank you very much, man. I'll let you get back
Thanks
to your
for
team
having me.
stuff. Well, that was Shadow Nightmare. I'm going to go and make these brackets really fast because I have everything in order, so I should be able to do it. Snap, crackle, pop, and get on to it. So I will be right back. I'm going to turn on this lovely music for you to listen to while I do this. So, be back. Fourteen teams today. Yay! Success and completion. All right, I'm going to be turning it on over to... All right, so I'm going to be turning on over to Dry Bear and DM Brandon right now. Thank you all for joining me for this lovely pre-show time. And it will be them up next, so I'm getting off right now.